Hey everybody, welcome to the Frog Pants Plays Update News Show. For lack of a better term, we're still in beta. Still in beta. A daily look at the hottest video game stories. Big thanks to our executive / story producer, Alex Albisu, who behind the scenes is helping make this happen as well. All right, today's a little bit different. Normally I say, hey, there's the phone number right there, 801-471-0462. Still true. You can call in live and talk about either what we're talking about today. You got other stuff to say in and around video games. Happy to hear you out. Had some great calls yesterday. I'd love to get some more today. But if you'd prefer not to use that, there is something in the Frog Pants Discord, which you can get at frogpants.com/contact. It's just free to get in, so hop in if you haven't already. But in the Frog Pants general chat, you'll notice, or general channel, you'll notice there's a new group in there called Call Waiting. It's basically a place where you can go park yourself, and then I can drag you into a private space, and in there, we can hear what you have to say. So another way to call. We used to do this a long time ago on TMS. Seems like a thing we could do now. Okay? So it's there for you. If you're in the Discord, you're seeing it, and you know what I'm talking about. Otherwise, phone numbers still work, 801-471-0462. That's 801-471-0462 if you prefer to use your phone. Or again, hop in that call waiting group inside our Discord, and we will pull you in. Okay? All right. Let's get to it. We got a lot to talk about today. Number one story, Sony cut PlayStation Now Cloud video game service in half. $9.99 a month. Is that a good deal? I don't know. It seems like it might be a decent deal. They cut it right in half. They now offer over 800 titles to stream from PS2, PS3, and PS4, or games from those devices, I should say. You now have the chance to play these titles as much as you want for a much more affordable price. You can subscribe to the service for $9.99 a month or $59.99 per year. That is down from $99.99 a year. I don't know anybody who was using that service up till now, but does it suddenly sound better? Is it a weird kind of, Game Pass is going to eat our lunch? Do we need to protect? That's not the word I'm looking for. Do we need to guard ourselves against the oncoming onslaught that is Game Pass and its ability to wipe us out if we're not careful? Because Microsoft's due a big win. This might be the one to do it. Guess we'll have to wait and see. These games will be featured until January 2nd, in which Sony will release a different batch of exclusive games for streaming. The ones they're going to put in there first are God of War. Ooh. I assume we're talking about the new one. They don't get into details, but it's got to be the new one. That game's fantastic. Grand Theft Auto 5, Infamous Second Son, and Uncharted 4, A Thief's End. All excellent video games. Alex tells me it is the new one, so that's good. That's good news. Again, you have until January 2nd, then they refresh that with a bunch of other stuff. That seems like a good amount of time to sort of get in there and decide what you want to play of those games. So if you're a Sony subscriber and you already subscribe, or a Sony user, and you already subscribe to this $9.99 a month thing, or whatever the package is currently, I guess it's, what is it, $20 a month? Is it $20 a month? Yeah, because it's like half now. If you're one of those people, then all you got to do is wait for your next billing cycle, and it should just be halved. That would be my understanding of how that's going to work. So good news, everybody. If you like Sony, that's great news. Also, check this out. Video games are helping children with autism enhance their social skills. Ooh, wonder what that means. Well, let's find out. Narcis Perez, I'm sure I'm saying that name wrong. It's a scientist in Barcelona, Spain, created a new video game called Pico's Adventure. This type of game is referred to as a full-body interaction video game. Puts the player in collaborative and fun situations to help children with autism disorders and enhance their social skills. What? Video games to help people? Is it possible? It's not all just violence and, I don't know, sexy ladies? I guess so. Anyway, that's pretty cool. Game currently being utilized to study the differences with more forced interactions through the use of a video game rather than other conventional or unconventional means of playing with other children, such as playing with dolls and toys. So you can imagine a scenario where kids are in a room and you're like, all right, put these two kids down. There's a stack of blocks. Work together to have fun, build a thing. we're going to study how kids interact in this scenario. Instead, why don't you sit a couple of kids down, give them each a controller, and make them play Tecmo Bowl for 2 hours? How's that sound? I mean, I'd be all in on that idea, if I'm honest. And boy, howdy am I. Anyway, thanks, Wicked Kitten. She's correcting my pronunciation there. So yeah, that's pretty cool. That's a nice thing to see, and I hope it works out. They say there's a lot of stuff that needs to be done for special needs kids, and they will need further study. So we will see if video games become the new cognitive tool to study children and what they need. Have thoughts or feelings about that? Either hop on the Discord or call us 801-471-0462 right now. The lines are open. All right, let's get to our next story. Google's testing a new search interface for video games. What? You might say, I thought that's what Google was. You can go find your video games on Google. That's true. You can. But they're making, they're working on something that will be specific to finding video games. This according to the searchenginejournal.com. It sounds like all they do is think and talk about search engines. It's a journal about search engines. Anyway, Reddit user is the one that pointed this out. There's an interesting result when searching for Halo Infinite on Google. What came up was a side panel that includes links to gameplay guides, weapons, characters, and options. So imagine what you're already sort of hunting down by yourself. Google will give you and say, hey, are you looking for a guide? Are you looking for a walkthrough? Are you looking for gameplay? Are you looking for reviews, hints, whatever? Google's going to now send those or give you that stuff as a general search result. Think of it as the way they do with actors now. Like if you go search for an actor's name, you get the actor you're looking for and then a picture of all the people he works with or people search for in conjunction with. So it's like a guy that's in a show, and then you get 20 more people that are in different shows. Or no, 20 more people that are on the same show he's on, right? I think that's how it would work. Anyway, this came from Reddit. Others haven't had any luck when they tried to replicate the search and test this potential update in Google search capability. Perhaps the lucky Reddit user caught a quick glimpse of a new feature that is not ready for public use. Anyway, this could be a really neat feature. Would you use it? Would you prefer that kind of detailed result from searching for, I don't know. Let me think of a game here. Call of Duty, Modern Warfare. The new Call of Duty coming out this year, and you're like, man, sure would like a walkthrough to know how to get from here to there with Agent Price all up in my beak. It's a dumb example, but you know what I'm saying. And then suddenly it's like YouTube video, IGN walkthrough, review over at Metacritic, reviews on such and such site, link to the developer. Here's the Wikipedia article page. I mean, I know you're kind of getting that over in the main results. This makes it more specific. I like it. I'd be all up into it. Yes, all up into my beak, Alex. That's how I like to talk. Anyway, we'll see how that goes and if anything actually comes of it. I mean, obviously, this is probably just going to pop into view one day and you're going to be searching for something and bam, your video game results are going to be better than you thought they were. All right, who here knows about the Better Business Bureau? I've heard of them. They're around. They're a thing. They're warning parents, like they do. They tend to warn people about things, about ads targeting kids and mobile games. Ooh. I feel like this is almost a non-story in that it's been going on since ads were introduced into mobile markets some years ago. I guess maybe now we're just sort of paying more attention, but according to the HawaiiNewsSnow.com, the Better Business Bureau warns parents about ads targeting kids on their mobile games. Story of kids who rack up thousands of dollars on parents' credit cards due to microtransactions is old news. But the story is going a step further with the report of scams disguised as ads popping up for kids to receive, quote, free resources or, quote, unquote, credits. That's pretty dastardly. Anyway, you know how that stuff works. Microtransactions, right? Well, oftentimes these ads will ask for sensitive financial information that can be used for malicious purposes. The Better Business Bureau recommends parents emphasize the importance to their children about checking on potentially malicious links and sharing personal information on the internet. Don't be like my wife, who got a link that said, We desperately need your Google login account. Something has happened to your Google account. You must log in now and fix the problem. And her and her sister, independent of one another, completely bought into that and got ripped off. So it was a good time. This can happen to everybody, and it happened to them. And that's not the same as this, but kids are even more, open to the idea that, ooh, I'm playing this thing. It's asking me for a thing. I'll go ahead and do a thing, right? Now, how they would know your personal financial information, I don't know. How they would know your credit card, maybe don't give your kids your card. Maybe that's an idea. So I feel like there's already lots of tools in the box here for parents that just aren't being stupid. But if you're being stupid, I can't help you. Nothing I can do about that. All right, moving on. Growth of video game market to be impacted by the cross-platform gaming experiences. This is an article from Yahoo Games. Or is it just Yahoo Finance? I think it's just Yahoo Finance. It says this. They reported that the growth of the video game market forecasted between 2019 and 2023 is largely due to the potential impact that cross-platform gaming will have. They're currently anticipating $68.25 billion US dollars in growth by 2023. So think about that for a second. Cross-platform. We're talking Fortnite on phones and consoles, PCs and everything else. What else is a good example of that? I guess this happens with games like Rocket League, right? Name some other ones I'm forgetting. I know I'm forgetting some of these. Call of Duty, there you go. The phone version just came out. But that's not really cross-platform, though, right? I think they mean that these are games that you'll be able to play on the go and then come home and play with all your characters, your unlocks, your whatever you've done, and continue that on a different platform, as is currently the case with Fortnite and other games like it. I think that's what they're referring to. Because that Call of Duty thing, that mobile game that just came out, that is not a continuity-driven thing. That does not connect to what you're doing already in Call of Duty proper, as best that I'm aware of. I could be wrong about that, but I think that's right. Anyway, this is another thing to consider, they say at finance.yahoo.com. The availability of low-cost smartphones and cloud-saving capabilities in countries such as China, India, and Mexico make the mobile gaming market a prime reason for this as well. Maybe the big reason, in my opinion. The ability to play over the internet, no matter what mobile platform you're on, is anticipated to make a huge difference. I'll tell you what would need to have happen. As one of the leaders in mobile, Nintendo would have to come around on a lot of online stuff to get that where we need it. And also, if I play Fortnite on my Switch, and I don't play Fortnite at all because I don't like Fortnite, but if I play Fortnite on my Switch, does the Switch version sync with my PC version of that game? Is that currently a thing that's already supported by the Switch? I don't know. Someone in the chat could probably tell me because they play it. Yes, it is, they say. Yeah, Destiny 2's doing this, but Destiny 2's doing this in a really weird way, Alex. It's different, right? Like the account, you can take all your account information and share it, but you can't play with other people cross-platform while you're playing. So in other words, you could spend all weekend on the PlayStation 4 Destiny 2 game, accumulate whatever you've done. That account status, items, character changes, gear, all that stuff is recorded and moved if you could decide to go play on the PC version the next weekend. So that stuff, in effect, is moving around, and that's great. It's a huge step forward. But what isn't true is PlayStation 4 people are not playing with PC people, and vice versa. People on Xbox are not playing with PlayStation 4 people. And I think ultimately that's the goal, is to get us less dependent on platform. The thing that Destiny 2 is doing is kind of is a workaround. It's not the same. I mean, I kind of wish it was the same, but it's not the same. Speaking of Call of Duty, speaking of Fortnite, let's talk about those juggernauts for a minute. I assume some of you are actually excited about that Call of Duty Modern Warfare thing coming out. I think I might actually be interested for the first time in a long time. But anyway, what I'm not interested in is this, but we'll talk about it anyway. Call of Duty Mobile lets you wage Fortnite-style battles. Hey. USA Today is saying that. I don't think that's a great headline, but whatever. Call of Duty is showing up to the mobile space with a battle royale experience similar to their most recent Black Ops title, Black Ops 4. They intend to compete against the battle royale behemoth Fortnite and others in the mobile space. Everyone forgets about PUBG. They do great on mobile. Like super good on mobile, so I don't know what their problem is, why they keep forgetting that. But anyway, though Fortnite took a bit of a dip in its player base when Call of Duty Black Ops 4 came out with their Battle Royale game on PC and console, it didn't hold long. As you know, Fortnite was back on top. Fortnite sort of stays on top. They don't even talk about Apex Legends here, which still doing well, but, briefly unseated your pals at Fortnite, and now they're kind of back in, I don't know, what are they? Third place in Battle Royales? I have no idea. I don't know who's doing what in that space. I don't play it enough, I guess. But anyway, will Call of Duty Mobile have the ability to compete with Fortnite Mobile? Maybe. It's free to play. You can spend a little money on cosmetics, both for your character and their weapons. No controller support. That sucks. Because now that, especially on the iOS side, I know you can get on Android as well, but on the iOS side, not only are MiFi controllers supported by games, but now they'll recognize PS4 and Xbox One controllers. They'll sync directly to them. There's no reason that game couldn't have controller support. I do hear that some innovative players using Android are using keyboard and mouse. I want to say our buddy Joey Image is doing this with this very game. I'd be curious about how that plays. On the other hand, wouldn't you just, if you're a PC gamer and wouldn't you just wait for the full game? I don't want to be old man about mobile stuff, but sometimes I just don't understand why, in this case, you would choose Call of Duty Mobile unless it's somehow connected to the full game. Then you have my interest. Then I'm interested. You know what I mean? Like when I play Hearthstone, I'm playing straight up Hearthstone. And then I'm playing the same game later with the same account, the same cards unlocked, all that other stuff on my desktop. That's cool. That's a cool thing. If this is like a separate experience and doesn't feed into any of their games on modern platforms, then what are you doing? It's just another mobile game, so kind of who cares? I don't know. We'll see. We shall see how that goes. No takers on the call waiting room, huh? I thought people would love that because you just got your Discord there. I was sure of it. Chicken. Y'all are chicken. What else we got? Oh, here's a good one for you. Professional gamers reveal the worst things about their professions. You ever wonder what they hate the most? Ninjas, I don't like bed bugs, he says. Just kidding, I don't know what he says. But anyway, you think playing games for a living is fun? It's all fun and games. You may want to think again. Business Insider interviewed several professional gamers around the world and asked them about their experience playing games for a living by streaming them on services like Twitch. Many individuals found themselves anxious and lonely. Oftentimes, the grind to produce content and achieve viewer and subscription numbers would help support a living wage because of the tremendous amount of stress. Sean Gallagher, a.k.a. Glad, is a 31-year-old Twitch streamer and YouTuber who often plays Destiny 2. He was quoted in the article saying the constant numbers that go along with the streaming can cause, quote, frustration, confusion, and demotivating state of mind. Youch. A female gamer known as AFKT, get it? Recalls many situations where she has been harassed and bullied online. She states someone created a script or something where over 500 to 1,000 bots came onto my stream while I was live and started spamming like really gross stuff, unquote, she told Business Insider. I had threats sent to me before just because I said something they didn't like, unquote. Well, yeah, that sucks. That always sucks, but hey, it turns out if you're in the public eye, it maybe get a little bit worse. The stories in the article are sad, oftentimes scary. You probably should go read this. BusinessInsider.com. They got a whole thing going there. I don't know if they do mention anything about like swatting or that kind of like hardcore doc stuff. I don't know, but that does make it hard. But whatever. Some of these guys have millions of dollars, and I don't want to hear any complaining. But I also understand that money isn't everything, and your emotional well-being could be affected anyway. All right, up next, There are some surprises on a list of game schedule for streaming on Google Stadia platform. Hey, are you like me? Did you kind of forget Stadia was coming? I did. I don't know why. It's a big deal. It should be a big deal in my head, but maybe it's because it's so out of reality right now. Nobody's playing it. It's not available. So until your thing is out there, and it's so much of it is so non-physical. It's just about cloud, and maybe if you get their controller and their dongle, but I don't know. There's something about that makes it feel like vaporware until it happens. So maybe that's why. But there are a few surprises on there. It's only a month away, so if you're getting anxious, here it comes. Google just announced some new titles that will be available for streaming. Here's what you're going to get. Here's a list, and it's not opening for me for some reason. Hold on. Why won't it open? Give that a second. Some of these games have been removed from the list that were previously on there, though. Those titles were Dragon Ball Exoverse, is it called? Exoverse 2? Or Xenoverse? I don't know. I don't play Dragon Ball games. I don't like Dragon Ball. Sue me. Not into it. Final Fantasy, what is that? 15 and Samurai Showdown. None of those are on there now, which is kind of a bummer. But if you were excited about the other stuff that is coming as of October 1st, here are the games. Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Baldur's Gate 3. Keep in mind that's a brand new Baldur's Gate, and there's no way that's coming, but that isn't launching with it, and that is also coming to lots of other platforms. But do not expect Baldur's Gate 3 ready at launch. At the E3 this year, they were woefully behind on anything close to even showing. So a lot of these are not day one releases. They're just games slated to come to the service. Borderlands 3, currently out everywhere else. That'll be on there. Cyberpunk 2077, that'll be a simultaneous launch for everybody. Darksiders Genesis, Destiny 2, The Collection, Destroy All Humans, Doom Eternal, Doom, the 2016 Doom, and then this new Doom Eternal, which isn't out yet. Farming Simulator 19, so get your farm on. Start farming that shit. Football Manager 2020, I hate those games. I like some sports games. I like hockey games. I like some football games. I enjoy a decent basketball game. I prefer when they're a little less simmy and just more focused on fun, but I'll take a hockey game any day of the week. Soccer, sure. FIFA's cool. All that stuff's fine. But these ones that are like Football Manager behind the scenes, like, I need to run my teams for the year. Those are for you football or fantasy football people. They ain't for me. Can't do it. I don't know why. It's not my thing. A game called Get Packed. People used to tell me that all the time in high school. Get Packed. Gods and Monsters, Grid, GYLT. Don't know what that is. Just Dance 2020. Isn't that the Democrats' slogan for the election? Just Dance 2020. Anyway, Kine, Marvel's Avengers, Metro Exodus, Mortal Kombat 11, NBA 2K20, which people seem to hate on Steam. I think it's a microtransaction nightmare. Orcs Must Die 3, Rage 2, Rise of the Tomb Raider, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, Super Hot, The Crew 2, The Elder Scrolls Online, Thumper, Tomb Raider Definitive Edition, the a guy named Clancy, Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Breakpoint. J.K. Grammer's here. He's frothing at the mouth for that thing. Tom Clancy's The Division 2, Trials Rising, Watch Dogs Legion, and Windjammers 2. Oh, and Wolfenstein Youngblood. It's a decent lineup, but again, it's not all launch titles, so don't get too stoked. Some of that stuff's not out and won't be out till next year, or further out than that even. Like, you're not going to be playing let's see, which one is the most out? You are definitely not going to be playing Cyberpunk 2077 in October or November, whatever it is. Get packed, they used to say. Ubisoft announces free Rabbids game designed to teach coding. Thank the Lord. Finally. Have we finally gotten to a place where we can learn how to code from the Rabbids? I mean, I don't know about you guys. I've been asking for this for years. This feels like old news now. Looks like Ubisoft announced a new game coming out in October. It's on the 8th. It will come out via Uplay, and it teaches kids coding logic. There are 32 levels in which they have to command the loony rabbits to clean up spaceships, solve other tasks, do puzzles, other simplistic stuff. I shouldn't say simplistic. It might be more complicated than that. Rabbids coding is about making programming fun and accessible for everyone, and to seed the future of developers here working at Ubisoft. Just kidding. They didn't say that part. But they do show that it's actually not all that complicated. It's about logic and simple instructions that put you in front of each other. That you put in front of each other. Never heard it put that way. Anyway, we've created a handbook so that the game can be used in schools by children or adults. With this guide, you can make classes. Whether it's at school or home with your kids, it's a very easy and accessible way to explore logic in programming. So here's the funny bit about that. I'm all for it. That sounds great. But are the rabbits going to be there all the time going, blah? Like, am I going to go, E equals this, therefore go to line 22. Blah! Right? No one's answered that question for me. If someone wants to, they can email. Hi, you're on the air. Who's this?
Oh, it's Curious Wicked again.
Hey, what's going on?
I'm in the Discord if you want to use that instead. I think the audio quality will be a bit better.
Oh, I can do that. Hold on. Let's give this a shot. Hi, is that you?
Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Hey, that worked out really good. Nice job.
Yeah, thanks.
It's Curious Wicked, everybody. What's on your mind, man?
Yeah, it's me. I'm here.
Yeah. You got a question?
Do I sound all right?
Yeah, you sound really good. Sound like you're in the room with me. Do you hear me okay?
Yeah. Well, I am. I'm right behind you.
Oh,
right behind you.
Oh no. This seems bad.
Yeah, what do you want to talk about?
Whatever you do, man. You give me a question. What do you want? What do you want to hear? What do you want to talk about?
Would you rather have Jaina's emotional damage or Thrall's emotional damage?
Oh my gosh. Jaina or Thrall's emotional damage?
I'm always going to do this would you rather thing anytime we end up in chat.
No, I kind of like it. All right, no, I got an answer for this. Wait, whose damage do I want more? Okay, I know who I want more. I want Thrall's, and here's why.
Okay.
At the core of Thrall, he's still everybody's good pal, and he still wants to do good work, and in the end, he'll do the right thing. But he's also got like a foundation. He's got a family. He's got kids now. He's got this thing he can rely on.
He's a family man.
Yeah, but you look at Jaina, and she's getting all pissy with her mom. She's just got shitty relationships everywhere. Dad and his whole kingdom got murdered. Like she's in a bad place. Her ex-boyfriend was the freaking Lich King and is now dead also. Like
her ex-boyfriend was the freaking Lich King. What
yeah,
a horrible.
I know.
What a horrible reality. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's rough, man. So yeah,
it's pretty rough.
I don't know what more I could say other than, who knew that would be a thing. But a great question. Thank you very much. We got another person waiting in here. Let's find out who this is. Hi, good morning. Who's this? Hello?
How you doing? I'm watching the stream and realized that I was being called on.
Oh, you're fine. It's because of that dumb delay. We got to do something about that one of these days. What's your name and what's your question?
So it's Thrash and Rail, and it's Alex, but I don't enunciate, and people keep calling me Alice.
Oh, Alice. Okay. I'm going to make sure that I never call you that. That seems like a thing I could do. So I promise not to call you Alice.
So there's a recent ruling in France saying that Steam games can be resellable. It was something that happened in 2015, and I was thinking with all the games you guys are talking about,
right,
that this is now going to be something that's going to affect the entire European Union, but it hasn't come over to the States yet. But I was curious to see what you thought about how that might affect gaming.
Yeah, I'm glad you asked that. And in fact, had this show had this little stream started a few days earlier, we probably would have covered this. The legislation that is being proposed, and they're going to fight it, by the way. So this is all being appealed now. Nothing's gone into effect or anything. But the concept is, as best I understand it, and I'm no expert at this stuff, but Steam would have to, or they would make Steam, at least in those territories, particularly in France, possibly more of the EU, as you mentioned, people would be able to sell their used games. And by used, meaning ones they've bought and played. To me, there's a lot of questions about, well, how used is used when you're talking about a piece of digital content that doesn't actually age. It's as new as it was the day it came out. There is no such thing as used code. at least not in the traditional sense. And so I have tons of questions about that, but the idea is that I would say go find my copy of, I don't know, freaking The Witcher 3, and I could put it on some sort of marketplace or trade it with a friend and say, here, you can have this, and it's $15 or whatever that amount is. That's my biggest problem with this proposal, is it's really short on those specifics. It's just that you should be able to sell your games, just like a used game in a store or whatever. But it doesn't get into any of the nitty-gritty about what's the price. How does that price differ? If it's a small indie game, is it less than the other? If it's a very popular game, does that matter? Is it a true market where the prices are determined by bidding, like an auction house? Who controls that? Is Steam controlling that? Is somebody else controlling that? Does this end up happening to all game services? And what about the ones that are just streaming content and a subscription? Does it apply to them? Like, I have so many questions about this. And
I just want to see another generation of kids get ripped off from like Funko Land, like I used to when I was a kid.
Yeah, dude. Yes. And will they also have an experience where I can log into Steam, and as soon as I do, a little holographic guy will go, hi, I see you're here. Would you like a subscription to Game Informer while you're here, or something stupid and shitty like that? Like, that's what I'm worried about, is that these old ideas that don't work in retail stores are starting to crop up again, and it's kind of bumming me out. So I don't know. I mean, it's too early to say. I feel like this thing doesn't pass in its current form, and I also think Steam has a good chance to not have this happen. However, if it does go through in the European Union, at least, it'll definitely have an impact, and it's possible people get ideas over here. We do that sometimes. It goes both ways, and we might get weird about this, and I really hope not, man. I really hope not. I mean, part of me's like, I have 1,000 games in Steam. I'd love to sell some. You know what I mean? Like, part of me's stoked about this idea. But I just remember handing over stacks, going to like electronics. I don't know if Electronics Boutique used to do it, but I remember going to Funko Land when it first opened and handing over a stack of game and sliding across like poker chips, and somebody going, "Yeah, $12.50." Yeah, yeah, and it wasn't even enough to get the one game you wanted to get. Exactly.
No.
Yeah, no.
I just wanted to buy Echo the Dolphin.
It's
let me buy Echo the Dolphin, please.
Dude, I'm with you. I liked Echo the Dolphin a lot. That was a good game. Anyway, we shall see how things go. Thanks for the call, though. It's great having you on. Looks like we got Talia, who's on the line now. Hi, Talia. How are you?
Well, hello.
Nice to hear from you. How are you?
Just a second. Muting the stream.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, you should mute that stream. Big, loud, dumb stream. What's on your mind? What's going on?
Well, I've got, three things I want to say.
Okay.
One, I've been dating a French girl for over 2 years, and I'll say going in half-cocked without really knowing how to do a law sounds pretty French.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Oh, man.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty good. Nicely done.
Second thing I want to say regarding Stadia, I'm really kind of indifferent to what they have to offer until I see how the tech works.
Yeah, me too. I need hands-on.
Yeah, I mean, it's just too untested. I've seen it, the technology come along kind of before. So I want to see it play out, see how it works with people with, not with perfect internet and everything, and then make a judgment.
I would too, and I'd also like to have it on PCs or other devices, which is promised. They're promising to have this anywhere. Put it on your iPad, throw it on your Samsung phone, stick it on your PC, play it in the browser. Like, all of those promises are way more interesting to me than a Google Cast freaking dongle and a weird controller and a TV. I'm not interested in that particular setup very much for this. That's guaranteed Wi-Fi, and that's other stuff I don't like. I would really like to play this on a wired browser screen. I did this with the test they ran for Assassin's Creed Assassin's Creed Odyssey about a year and a half ago, and it was impressive. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, this is actually going to be possible. But the fact that that's not part of the launch plan annoys me. So they're going to have to wait a while before I actually care too much about it. But you're totally right. We got to see how it feels, how, if that latency is noticeable or not, if they've really gone far enough to improve the tech, or if this whole time Microsoft's going to have better tech and we're all just going to be doing Game Pass and playing it that way. I don't know.
Yeah, it's interesting to see where it'll play because, like you said, on the console, basically the home version, I think that market is kind of saturated, at least. Most everyone who wants some sort of console already has it. So they can go and find the few people who don't have a console or PC and hope to market to them, or they can go market to people who already have consoles but want to bring mobile or something like that.
Sure.
Like continue the game of Odyssey, on their phone when they're on the bus.
Yeah, which I love that idea. I really love that idea. It's that kind of cross compatibility with all sorts of games I could think of would be so cool. So the core idea is there for me. I just need hands-on.
Yeah, we got to see it.
Yeah,
we got to see it
and see if it's worth the money. Who knows? But always good to hear from you. Have a fantastic day.
I've got another question though.
Oh, go ahead.
A lot more open-ended. And speaking of Assassin's Creed Odyssey,
Yeah.
I'm very, very into that game, and I'm almost about to 100% it and everything.
Oh my gosh, that's great.
What is the last game that you felt compelled to just do everything in, all the side quests, all the little itty bitty things, all the DLC, all the achievements? Have you ever been compelled to finish something like that in the last decade?
I mean, in the last decade is the question. I've beat plenty of games, but did I 100% anything? I don't know that I have. I think the closest maybe I got was the 3DS remake of Ocarina of Time. Pretty sure I did everything I could do in that. And I played that shit out of that. Plus the original game, I played it like crazy. But I think that may be the closest I could answer that question, because I can't think of anything where it was like all the DLC. In fact, I really don't even do DLC that often. And they're games I want to do this with. I'd love to 100% The Witcher 3, but that sounds like a 40-year process. I don't know how I do it all.
Oh, I haven't even done it, and it's like 300 hours.
Yeah, I can't do it. I've already spent so much time in that game. I'm not sure I'm ever going to be that guy, but I do like the idea of doing it. I feel like getting maximum enjoyment out of a thing you really love is super cool, and I would love to do it with Odyssey. To be honest, that game is amazing. It's an incredible game.
That's I haven't felt this way in a few years, because I just finished the Atlantis DLC, and holy crap, that's Witcher 3 level extra game kind of DLC.
Yeah, and them leaning into the kind of mythology of ancient Greece is super exciting. I need to just grab that stuff and play it again. You're making me want to just go play it. Maybe I have to.
I can highly recommend it, and I bought it in July during the summer sale, and I'm still working through it.
Oh my gosh. I have no excuse. I've had it since launch day, and I'm still way behind. But we'll see how things go. It's good to hear from you. Have a fantastic day. We're about done here. I got a meeting in about 8 minutes, so I want to make sure I rip through the last story here. It's a little bit of a bonus story. Have you ever ridden a party Uber before? You ever been in an Uber where it was a little bit different than your usual Uber ride? Well, I haven't. I've only been in normal Uber rides, but this Vermont driver has amped it all up with Rock Band and strobe lights. Yes, if you call Uber in Vermont, there's a chance this guy named John Grimaldi will pull up in a van. If you get in his van, you'll notice something super unique. He has Rock Band loaded and screens in his vans for riders to play as he takes them to their destination. Whip out the guitar, play the drums, do whatever you got to do. John says the majority of people he tends to pick up are college students who are taken aback a little bit by what they see, but eventually they jump in. They sing karaoke. They strum away on the plastic guitars until they get to their destination. Maybe Brian Ibbett, our good buddy Brian Ibbett, who drives Lyft, maybe he could come up with something like this. I don't know. Entirely possible. All right, a reminder that we're going to try to do this every day, at least Monday through Thursday for now. Leads in right after TMS. Right now, it's not a podcast. If I end up going that route, I'll let people know, but I don't know. I don't know if anyone even wants it. The idea was to make a streaming game story update phone call unit deal, and I feel like we've done that pretty well. Thanks to everybody who called in. You guys called in like crazy toward the end there. That was awesome. We'll have what's his name back once in a while to do a little would you rather question. I like that Thrall Jaina question. That was pretty good. No reason we couldn't do that again. Again, big credit goes out to Alex Albisu, who is executive storyteller man. He went and gathered the stories. I'm not doing this without the help, and it's great. And they're all stories I like, so good job, well done. We'll keep that up. In the meantime, Scott@frogpants.com is my email address. You can find me there. Send me an email. Send your feedback. Tell me what you think about this thing. Again, the Discord is over at frogpants.com/Discord. I am Scott Johnson on Twitter, and you can find everything else I'm doing over at frogpants.com. I think that is everything for me. Thank you all for listening. We'll see you tomorrow. This show is part of the Frog Pants Network.
Frog Pants Network.
Get more shows like this at frogpants.com.